We're live from the capital, Gaborone. This is BTV News at 9 o'clock. I am Khomotso Mapani. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Masisi arrives in Nairobi, Kenya, ahead of the United Nations Environment Assembly. Governments urge to secure funding for energy infrastructure development in Southern Africa. And in sports, Ross Branch completes stage 2 of the Abu Dhabi Challenge in position 3. Welcome. President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi has emphasized the importance of the United Nations current country program, saying it is in line with Botswana's desire to achieve sustainable development goals. President Masisi made the remarks when receiving the United Nations Development Program Director for Africa, Ms. Ahuna Eziakonwa, who paid a visit on him this morning. Kikantse Kumalo reports.
The United Nations Development Program established a 5-year country program aimed at addressing key developmental challenges within Africa in line with the Sustainable Development Goals. President Masisi appreciated the program, saying it fits well with Botswana's future economic aspirations.
We're very happy with the new country program as we move from the old country program that focused a lot on HIV and AIDS. And this $33 million budget for the current country program, we think will serve our needs if we remain focused to the areas, because they overlap beautifully with our planning outlook and our vision. The current government wishes to carry on with what we've been doing and expand it. So it's along the lines of a knowledge economy, the entrenchment of that. And so we feel strongly that the current country program fits well with that. We have adjusted our planning cycle to be in sync with our electoral cycle. Okay. And that was the reason for the transitional plan, which was 2 years, so that we make the necessary adjustments.
The regional director's visit to member countries, including Botswana, intends to engage on progress made, challenges, and even viable solutions. She applauded Botswana for its thriving economy as well as her stable democracy.
I wanted to meet the leadership of this country, including the president who I just met with, to understand what the vision is for development in this country and the strategy for achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Botswana is one of the most peaceful countries on the continent, but also it has enjoyed successive peaceful democratic transitions. It is doing well in terms of the economy, and we wanted to understand also how Botswana's experience can also serve other countries in our South-South cooperation strategy. So the President and I spoke about some of the good practices here, both in terms of economic diplomacy, but also governance, and how we can structure services to other countries from here. But we also spoke about some of the challenges that Botswana is having, and the role that UNDP and the UN system as a whole could play in supporting homegrown solutions to those challenges.
The UNDP's Africa Regional Director is also expected to engage with local stakeholders, women leaders and the youth to enhance partnership opportunities in the country. Kikantse Kumalo, BTV News, Gaborone.
President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi has arrived in Nairobi, Kenya, to participate at the 6th session of the United Nations Environment Assembly this week. This year's session zeroes in on the thematic aspects of inclusion and sustainable multilateral action, with focus on areas such as climate change, among others. This session gathers various heads of state, ministers, business leaders, and environmental activists from across the globe. President Masisi is expected to address a high-level forum tomorrow, highlighting Botswana's position and milestones in tackling environmental challenges, as well as her general contribution to the collective global aspiration of environmental governance. On the sidelines of the forum, the president will also have a bilateral meeting with Kenyan President Dr. William Ruto. In fostering the two countries' cooperation in areas such as agriculture, President Masisi is expected to visit the Kenya Animal Genetic Resource Center. The Ministers of Foreign Affairs and Justice, as well as senior government officials, are among the presidential delegation. Coming back home, the acting president, Mr. Slamba Tsohwane, says governments in Southern Africa need to secure funding to develop energy infrastructure in the region. Speaking at the 10th Annual Regional Energy Regulators Association of Southern Africa Raa conference this morning, the acting president revealed that over 40% of the continent's population is deprived of electricity. Bufelo Mutsumi and Fellow Tombale.
For the first time ever, Botswana is hosting the Regional Energy Regulators Association of Southern Africa conference at a time when the region is faced with a crisis of unreliable and low supply of energy. The conference, which strives to facilitate sustainable development of a regional energy market, comes at a time when the region has identified the need for a regional association to provide a platform for effective cooperation for electricity regulators within the SADC region.
As part of the subcontinent, the SADC region is still facing challenges with access to electricity and connectivity in particular. Is at a weighted average of 55%, with a mixed picture obviously, considering that some member states' access rates have reached 100%, while the lowest access rate is a paltry 13%. That's a huge disparity.
It is an undisputable fact that our region needs assistance to develop energy infrastructure, and these by nature are capital intensive. I want to believe that financiers and development partners will, through the discussion of this topic, come up with ways in which access to technical finance for developing energy projects will be made easier.
Through you, the chairperson of RERA, I wish to express my gratitude for the fact that our various development partners and financiers, both within the United Nations system and the private sector, are part of this conference. I'm told that you are going to have a discussion with them on financing energy projects in the region, particularly green projects.
The Minister of Minerals and Energy, Mr. Lefoko Moagi, says despite Botswana's commitment to electrifying her districts and villages, there is a need to establish working relationships with other agencies that promote the regional development and coordination of energy-related matters in the region.
With the increased number of vehicles on our roads comes the increased use of fossil fuels. It is therefore necessary that we transit from this undesirable state to a clean and green transport sector. Your Honor, whilst we as Botswana have committed ourselves to developing an e-mobile economy through manufacturing electric vehicles and other components and parts, it is necessary for the region to discuss its preparedness for this inevitable development.
The 2 days Regional Energy Regulators Association of Southern African Conference, which is expected to deliberate and make recommendations on enhancing the increasing integration of energy systems and energy trade in the Southern African region and beyond through the facilitation of harmonized policy in the energy sectors, will conclude tomorrow. Bufelo Mutsumi, BTV News, Gaborone.
The First Lady, Ms. Naobi Kenya, in collaboration with the Merck Foundation, has donated for industrial sewing machines and textile tools and materials worth 15,000 pula to 3 village development committees in Old Naledi. When handing over the donations, the First Lady emphasized the need for every citizen to contribute towards government's commitment of improving livelihoods of Botswana and fostering the spirit of self-reliance. Kibadiretse Mutlusi.
Many households at Old Naledi are female-led, a reality that compelled women to meet in order to strategize on possible revenue generation avenues that can help them to become financially independent. Following this, the First Lady heeded to their call with this donation. The 3 Old Naledi village development committees now add on to other organizations and development committees across the country that have already received these industrial sewing machines. Ms. Masisi urged beneficiaries to utilize these machines to generate income and better their lives, thus contributing towards the development of their area. The donation is expected to augment empowerment efforts that residents, together with different stakeholders, have already made in the area.
Ale financially independent.
The Department of Skills Development under Vocational Education Training will capacitate beneficiaries to ensure that these machines will serve their purpose. BTV News, Gaborone.
Minister for State President Mr. Kabo Moruang has implored the youth to leverage the potential presented by proper usage of digital media and the use of technology to earn a better living and significantly contribute to the growth of the country's economy. He echoed the sentiments during a networking session with the newly formed BOTSWANA Online Media Association BOMA in Gaborone last night. Kinetleletswe Somolekai with the report.
The BOTSWANA Online Media Association was established in 2022, driven by the experiences of other traditional media had to endure during the COVID-19 pandemic era. BOTSWANA currently has 30 media online platforms, which the minister said could help young people explore the opportunities that can be tapped from the use of online media platforms, which has enormous potential to grow the economy. Now, with the country embarking on the fourth industrial revolution, Mr. Moruang said aimlessly scrolling through the internet without utilizing its endless opportunities should be the thing of the past.
Bona le potential ya gore go ka rudisa itsholelo ya lehatshe la rona, go ka rudisa itsholelo ya gago wena ka sebelebele ka namana ya gago. O ka kgona gore botshelo ba gago bo etoge, o ka kgona go iphira, wa ba kgona go hira ba bangwe, wa ba kgona go tokahatsa itsholelo ya gago le ya ba bangwe. Mo go bo go ra gore itsholelo ya gago la rona le na le seabe mo go boneng gore le ka hetola itsholelo ya lehatshe la rona yang.
BOMA shared the same sentiments with the minister, but alluded to some challenges that persist in the online media industry.
Challenge eri itetse mo malokong a rona ne le gore bontsi ba bone ba ntse ba itsegela gore o itiretse page ya bona le 100,000 likes kana followers, but mme ba sa kgone go itse gore mme kana go this is a business. Most of them ne retailer gore they've not been incorporated as companies go sipa ya kana mo gora gore go thata gore ha ile go rona le platform e ntseng ya e leng gore kana this is a media business. There's no how you can generate any revenue ka di-advert go tlhwaetswe o sa dirile some individuals o sa incorporative le so rona re le online media kana le bo re batla eng kana go hapela ga mo puso. The first issue ya ka go setse go kile ga bua e leng gore le ba buile including le to na bua ka issue ya recognition. That is the first thing as online media saying what as talk. So that this thing has been a very huge challenge in the way
Upholding professional standards and credibility reporting news online was said to be key. Therefore, the association highlighted on their continued efforts to advocate for policies that regulate operations and service delivery on the online platforms. Gelikalezwe, Somulegai, BTV News, Gaborone.
Of Justice, Mr. Machana Shamukuni, says the ongoing 6th session of the United Nations Environment Assembly in Naobi, Kenya, affords Botswana the opportunity to look for partnerships in building a climate-resilient economy. The world's highest decision-making body on the environment, UNEA, aims to restore harmony between humanity and nature to improve the lives of the world's most vulnerable people. Batami Malabe.
Botswana comes into this meeting ready to find solutions to global environmental challenges, as well as to strike possible partnerships that will help in its endeavors to tackle environmental challenges that have affected different sectors of the economy, such as agriculture and tourism. However, the country is not only basing on external partnerships, as government also invests heavily in environmental initiatives.
We are basically looking for opportunities for collaboration with strategic partners, to assist us on various issues so that we deal with the issues of environment, particularly issues around climate change. We want partnerships around financing to ensure that our economy is climate resilient. And we're looking at sectors like agriculture, tourism, and water and mining. We're also looking at technical expertise to assist us with the necessary technical expertise so that we deal with issues of environmental concern.
For the upcoming financial year, more than 1.3 billion pula has been allocated to address the effects of climate change, while more than 1 billion pula will go towards research and development, which is deemed crucial in finding lasting solutions to emerging environmental challenges.
We want applied research, that will assist us in formulating informed policies, so that we are able to direct our energies into, issues that we know we will be able to manage. We want research around, issues of agriculture, how we can make our agriculture more resilient in the face of this climate change.
Agriculture is one of the industries that has been hardest hit by the effects of climate change. However, Botswana remains resolute in finding ways of attaining food security amidst this adversity.
We want to ensure that there is food security, and we have to go out and farm. But we also need research that will allow us, come up with necessary varieties of crops to plant in the face of this unfriendly climate. So we basically need to strike that balance. Thank you.
Minister Shamukuni has also reiterated that addressing climate change and other environmental issues is not a task that each country can fight on its own from within its borders. There is need for partnerships, financial aid, and sharing of technical skills to better the environment. Batami Malabe, BTV News, Nairobi, Kenya.
The Pandamatenga silos are complete and ready for commissioning. This was revealed by CESA board member Ms. Biganyo Matipa during a site visit of the project as part of an induction for new members. The board comprises 8 members who will give the organization strategic direction and lead discussions on all issues pertaining to its envisioned development. Kitso Taimane compiled the report.
Mr. Radisigo says they have started implementing strategic actions item which includes hosting of private sector engagements with the business community and also carrying out consultations with companies in localities that have the potential to expand into the CESA with a goal of uniting them for a common goal of employment creation.
We need working special economic zones in our localities, as they are the key to alleviating the high unemployment rate we are faced with as the leaderships and improving the quality of life about our communities. Ya nonka jaga ke sa tswa go bua betso go botlhokwa gore re tsenye letsogo re tsenye leitlho le le tseneletseng re be re bone gore bonya bo botsalwa yeng gore jaaka ne re kile re ipela dielo gore tshwantse be re le ha kae mo nako e rileng ke eng go nna bonya jaaka go ntse go le bonya.
Let us continue embracing the reform as we journey towards achieving prosperity for all in all the CES localities by 2036, while we ensure that no one is left behind.
It is important for communities to approach things in a different way which will improve their lives.
We need to approach things in a different manner. We need to approach things with mindset change. And we need to do things at the end of the day, they will bear fruit and influence positive development in terms of the new order so it is absolutely vital for us to stand together.
With the right mindset, we will overcome and any challenge me ka jalo betso ni le gone go ba amogela ya la re amogela bone bo meara le ba dule tilo mo faramong ya bone le gone gore ke thagolle tsela mo le tilo wa foramo bo isoship meara wa Francis Town bo re radisigo.
Mayors were asked to align their district developments and urban development planning process with CESA to ensure that no Botswana is left behind. Abigail Madorobo, BTV News, Nata.
Equipping Botswana with requisite skills in the tourism and hospitality industry is said to be a key driver to empower them to be economically viable. This has been highlighted by the Hilton Garden Inn General Manager Ms. Tobani Ndlovu at the hotel's 5th anniversary in Gaborone. Hilton Garden Inn has already partnered with different stakeholders, being the Botswana Investment Trade Center, BITC, and the Pusha W initiative, amongst others. And the partnership has played a crucial role in marketing Botswana products intensively, both locally and internationally.
So together we believe that you can create a bright future for everybody in Botswana. At the Hilton Garden, we are dedicated to supporting the local communities and developing Botswana in the hotel industry.
We have a program called Travel with Purpose, and through that umbrella, we basically come in from a skills development perspective and seeing how we can basically improve the skills of anyone who's in tourism and hospitality, and also get young children to aspire to be in hospitality and tourism and come at it at a very high level.
Tato Khosimore is standing by to give us the latest in sports. TT.
Good evening, Khomotso. How are you?
I'm well, sir. How are you?
I'm all good.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. This is Botswana Tonight sports segment brought to you by Tato Khosimore. Thank you for joining us. Let's jump straight into our top story tonight. Local motorbike rider Ross Branch completed stage 2 of Abu Dhabi Challenge in position 3 today. Ross finished the 327-kilometer race in 3 hours and 21 minutes. Stage 2 was won by Aaron May, who finished in 3 hours and 15 minutes ahead of Konrad Dabrowski of Poland, who secured the second position in 3 hours 18 minutes. Ross began the 7-day challenge on a bad note, finishing in the 6th position after having mechanical issues on his bike. The Abu Dhabi challenge ends on the 2nd of March 2024.
It was a long, crazy day. I enjoyed opening. I was opening from the beginning and most of the day, so it was a lot of fun, and the experience was priceless. So yeah, had a good time out there. Really hope Michael's okay. It's not nice to see a fellow rider lying on the floor like that. So my thoughts and prayers are with him. But yeah, all in all, it was a good day out in the front, and it was fun opening the dunes. There was one or two sketchy moments had us on the edge of our seat, literally. But yeah, we're here in one piece, feeling strong as anything, and yeah, looking forward to tomorrow. And yeah, it was like I say, this morning opening the road the whole day was priceless. It was awesome experience and good for my training, exactly what I need. So yeah, let's keep it going for the rest of the week.
In closing and parting, in their effort to develop bowling from grassroots, Botswana Bowling Association, in collaboration with Botswana National Sport Commission, held a bowling tournament through the BOTSWANA Development Program in Joining. The idea behind the tournament was to sensitize young people about bowling as a sport for all. Makarebe Nkwani reports.
The BOTSWANA coordinator in Joining, Joseph Giorote, says they were happy with the overall delivery of the event and was optimistic that more people will join bowling, especially the youth who will take the baton once the current crop of players retire. Botswana Bowling Association's national coach Hasorona Pabalelo said the association is worried about the age range of the current bowlers, as they are mostly adults, hence the need to mobilize children of ages 6 to 12 years in order to keep the sports conveyor belt running over the coming years.
We are trying to sensitize youngsters bowling, or people used to perceive bowling is an adult sport. In the good old days, it was played by white old people. But nowadays, we filled up youngsters from 9 years up. But for BOTSWANA purposes, it's 6 to 12 years.
Tsepa Mudiakotla, who had 4 children partaking in the tournament, said she wanted them to spend more time playing bowling so that they did not engage in antisocial behaviors. Four teams took part in the tournament and the top 3 walked away with prizes. Makarebe Nkwani, BTV Sport, Joining.
That's it from Botswana Tonight Sports segment. Thank you for your audience. Back to you, Khomuso.
Thank you so much, Titi. Let's meet again tomorrow. Have yourself a fantastic evening, sir.
Same to you. It's all.
Thank you so much. That was Tato Khosimore giving us the latest in sports. Let's take a final look at stories leading the way this evening. President Masisi has arrived in Nairobi, Kenya, ahead of the United Nations Environment Assembly. Governments urged to secure funding for energy infrastructure development in Southern Africa. And in sports, Ross Branch completed stage 2 of the Abu Dhabi Challenge in position 3 today. That's all we had for you in our news bulletin this evening. Interpreting in sign language was Topo Taposa. BTV News, Ikanyarona, #BW Mindset Change, Arachinchi.